The card that we're making today is this one. Pretty cool. Finished it last night, so should be still fresh in my head how to make it. The card is multifarious card and it measures 13 centimetres by 14 centimetres. So not overly large. And you could trim that down even more if you wanted to make something smaller and have it as a gift for someone. The stamps that I'm using are Forest Inn, that one, hang on, put my glasses on, Slender Mushrooms, that one, Twilight Passage, because I just love these stones, and Forest Leaf. Forest Leaf is one I've been dying to use this stamp for so long, so I've finally got around to ticking that one off my bucket list. It's just such a beautiful stamp. It has so much movement in it, which is what really appealed to me. Okay, let's go down to the table and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is put some ink on my craft sheet. So I'm using Mermaid, Pixie Green and Russet Orange. Might use extra there, just like that. And I'm going to spritz it with water, just enough that it all beads up. You don't want to have it saturated in a big pool of water, otherwise it's going to mix too much. And then what I'm aiming to do is getting ink on there but leaving some white places as well. So probably just dab to start with to see how it looks. That's pretty good. I like that so far. Now I'll dry that. And for any extra bits, I'm just dabbing off bits of ink. What I'm also going to do is, as it pools up into bigger pools of ink and water, I'm just wiping them off. So I'm just leaving manageable sizes of ink. I need some more here and here, so I'm going to go there, like that, and some green down there, some orange in there. So that's how it's looking so far. And there's still a little bit, that's a muddy pool there, I'll take that off. I want to add a little bit more spots. Oh, that's pretty, like that. And dab as well. And some over there. And I'm just going to dab this time. And maybe there, just like that. Okay, and then clean off your craft sheet before you end up with it all over your nice good clothes. One more quick waft of heat. Turn it over to make sure it's straight. And this is what we've got so far. So it can go in any direction. And I'm thinking, what direction will I use it in? I'm going to use it in that direction. Okay. So the first thing I want to do at this stage is, after doing the ink, that's the background. It's Elements inks. They are water-based inks, which is why I could just spray it with water. The more water that you use, the thinner the ink will be. I wanted to have some texture, so I only used a little bit. Okay. Adding some black ink generously to my stamp. This is Forest Inn. There is a bigger mushroom, so if you want to make a bigger card, use that. I don't have it in stock at the moment, so I thought I'd just use this one. I'm going to try and put it roughly in the middle, but to one side is okay. I'm going to put stairs or stones down the bottom, so I'm going to put that right there. Firm, making sure that you're pressing all over. A good 10 to 20 seconds to make sure that your ink transfers onto your card. Release and lift. Beautiful. And set. The next thing I want to do is take a little bit of the ink off the mushroom. So the easiest way to do that is just spritz some water onto your craft sheet, then with a brush, paint with water. You'll need paper toweling for that, and dab. Oh, starting to lift off already. Multifarious card allows this technique to work beautifully. Better than a lot of other cards that I've used in the past. So it must be a multifarious card thing. And dab. And you just work your way right up the mushroom. Forest Inn, it's called. Dabbing as you go. Just work your way around. Try to stay within the lines. It just looks better if you do. Ooh, that's nice. Need to get some of this blue off the top here and down here. It'll just take a couple of goes to knock that back. I need a little bit more water. Let the water react. And dab. So it's slowly getting there. You just want the mushroom to be standing out from the background. That's all you're aiming to do at this stage. Okay. Yeah, another thing that you can do also is heat it with a heat gun. And what will happen is it helps that white pop out a little bit more. I might just put another little bit on. Over in this blue section. See if we can't get a little bit more off. You can't overdo it, or you can overdo it. If you overdo it, the ink starts to bleed, the black ink. So you've got to be careful with that. done. Happy with that. Right, so this is how it's looking so far. So now the mushroom looks like there's a background behind it, which is what we're after, that layered look. So one thing I've done earlier is I've cut some masks out just to save a little bit of time, because the last thing you want to see me do is sit here and just cut out with scissors, I thought. So this is Forest Inn, and I'm going to cover up the mushroom as best I can. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to use Forest Leaf. Right, where did I put the ink? There it is. Make sure you put plenty of ink on your stamp. Like that. And I'm going to have it so that the leaves come down there. Allowing plenty of time, like I said earlier, for the ink to transfer to the card from the stamp. It's a big stamp, so make sure you press everywhere. It's very easy to miss some spots and it comes out patchy, especially with bigger stamps. Release and lift. So, you can see the leaves are going behind the mushroom, and we're going to do that again on the other side. Ink. Make sure you use a juicy ink pad with your stamping. And we'll go down over that way a bit more, I think. The other thing to do when you're stamping is make sure you've always got one hand on your acrylic block, so that you reduce the risk of it jumping around. Okay, that should be right. Release and lift. So that's worked out quite good. Happy with that. I want to add a few more leaves because the background's quite big. So another thing I've done is with this stamp, I've cut the leaves out as a mask. So I will add some leaves, just cover a couple of them up, like that. That will do. Inking the stamp up once again, and I'm just going to fill in, just in case, I'll put that over there. I'm going to fill in down there. So it's going to take it right up to the edge of the card this time. That should be right. Release and lift. Nice. It's not so much that the leaf overlaps, it's the tendrils that come out the side of the stamp. I don't want the tendrils going over the top. at this stage. Just me being fussy. And that's okay. That's what I like to do. And down here. Although in plenty of time, like I said, you need a good amount of time. It's not something that you rush. It's all part of the process. It's good to enjoy the process. Release and lift. Okay, so that didn't work on the side. I'll show you what happened there. So I haven't checked down there, but that's okay. We'll keep going. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is colour in the leaves, and I'm just using pixie green because it's a really pretty foresty green. Some water in a cup. I'll start colouring that in. Might take a little while, so again, it's just another part of the process. So many parts of the process. Enjoy each one as you go. You can be rustic with this because, you know, it's in the forest. And nature is pretty rustic, isn't it? Keep colouring that in. And this over here, where I've left white space on my card, you can see it helps the leaves to pop a little bit. Which I'll show you as soon as I finish colouring all the leaves in. Again, just a reminder that Elements inks are a water-based ink, so you've got plenty of leeway to play around with them. Just go carefully around the mushroom. Okay. This is how it's looking so far. So where there's white space on the card, the leaves are really popping out a whole lot more. So that's where part of the appeal of leaving white space comes in. What I can do now is go back in and just bring the colour on the leaves to make it, you know, not look so flat with the colour. Adding a bit of shading down the centre, across the top. That always looks good. Bringing it down like that. Just clean up your craft sheet a little bit more if you can. Dry that off because it's quite wet still. Right. Here we go so far. Starting to look like it's in a forest. I hope so. Now, I've got some pencils that I pulled out of my collection. So, a fawn and a yellow for the toadstool and some green highlights for the leaves. So, what I can do now is just go in and I can work those leaves a little bit more. Like this. So where I said before I go across the top and down the centre, I'm pretty much following that. I'm going in lightly with the pencil. I'd rather go in light and then go back and add more pencil later than to have it too heavy and then have to fix it up with an eraser. Right, bring that down like that. Down the centre. And this is where you really got to have your card dry by the time you go in with the pencils. You could end up ripping your card otherwise if you're not careful. So just to be aware of that. Right. And then just so there's another tone of green. Lighten it up a little bit in a couple of places. So I've gone in with darker green for shading, and now I've gone in with a lighter green in those other areas. I like to go in circular motions and softly, so I can build it up if that's what I want to do. Just bit by bit. Happy with that. Now I'm going to get the, it's a pale lemon colour. I thought that would look nice just to bring out the spots on the toadstool. I don't want to go in heavy and have red toadstools and things like that. I think it would be too much colour. I want it to be a lot more subtle than that. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit down here to the side of the mushroom. And then on the shading side of the mushroom, very lightly go in with the brown. It's almost like a mushroom brown. Very subtle, very subtle. Okay, work my way around. That's how it's looking so far. Now the one thing I haven't done is the steps, so I'll put some steps on there now. Get it up well. And go there. And for the rest, I'm just going to do some random stamping so that it gives a bit more shape to the pathway. Just like that. Drying that off as I go. That ink that I've overstamped and it's landed on the craft sheet will end up on my hands and then will end up where I don't want it to go. So I'll just clean it as I go. I'm going to add a little bit of brown from the mushrooms onto the stones so that the stones have more of a rounded look to them, not a flat print. So all the shading is going to one side from the centre of the outside of the stone towards the centre of the stone. Just keep working it one stone at a time. Just like that. And I put them on the bottom of the mushroom stones up there as well. And that helps bring the mushroom stones down into the pathway stones so it's all uniform. And then on the flowers, I'm adding a little bit of yellow, just like that. Okay. This is how it's looking so far after adding a little bit of colour. And the other thing that I've got to do is with a stencil. This is the stencil that I'm using. And Mermaid. The brush is a size 7, which is the medium one, or in the old days used to be called the 5/8 of an inch one. Where I've got spaces, I'm adding a little bit of stenciling. Lovely. And over here, and down here, it might help hide that spot where the stamp didn't work, which it has. I can see it already. There's always a way to fix things. I'll put one in there. Yep, that's good. So you can see it kind of hides where I've not stamped. What I could do, and what I think I will do, is maybe add some more stamps, some more leaves. I don't think. Will I or won't I? Yes, I will. Just into that top area, I think. Let's see what it looks like. Make sure it presses this time. Okay, and release. Lovely. And maybe I could do the same thing, I think, down here. And I'm going to cover that area up there. Just put that there like that. Allowing plenty of time, as always. There's no shortcuts to that when it comes to stamping. Okay, release and lift. And set the ink. And because I've added extra leaves, colour them in. Whoops, a bit heavy. And let's see what it looks like. Kind of hides it a little bit, I think. And dry with a heat tool. Then go in with my pencils. What you do onto one lot of leaves, you do onto all the leaves. Like I said, there's no shortcuts. And then go in with the lighter green into the other areas. Like that. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to do with, so that's the alteration that I've made down this side. So it kind of hides it a little bit. It's a little bit of a fixer. Now I'm putting the mask back on the toadstool. And I've got my number 3 brush. Where is it? I was using it before. Where did I put it? There it is, hidden beside the pencils. Oh, clean off the ink from the craft sheet. Now, with my graphite ink, just rotate it like that. Put your mask over the top of your mushroom and just add an edge, just kissing the edge of the mushroom. Do it to both sides, turn that around. So I'm just adding a little bit more shading, so it's a really good little trick to help the mushroom stand out a little bit more. And there we go. Simple as that. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a relaxing process, sitting there with your inks and colouring in, working out how to put the layers. Oh, hang on, forgot the stamps at the end, because I've also got the mushrooms to put on. Nearly forgot. So these are the slender mushrooms, and these just give a nice little highlight to the path, like that. And even though they're little stamps, you still have to wait your 10 seconds or more, allowing the ink to transfer onto the card. And I'm going to put some down here. Inking it up. Might pop some over to the side as well, so it's right in the foreground. Yeah, that just finishes it off. It really does. And I'll put some right there. Again, as always, holding it long enough for the ink to transfer to the card. And set. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun doing it. So I've popped this card that I made yesterday up onto Lavinia For You, and I've also entered it in their competition this month, because I thought, why not? Because everyone, you know, wherever you are in the world, you can have a go at, you know, putting things up there and just putting it out in the world. So have a go at things like that, you know. The more people that do it, the more fun it is.